Hey there, it's Vickie Howell here to show you how to use the Addi Flexi-Flip needles. So these are an alternative to double-pointed needles or the magic loop method or using two circulars at one time to work in the round. They're currently my jam. I like them because I'm actually a DPN gal myself, but I have the same issues that everybody else has about stitches falling off or it feeling a little cumbersome, sometimes when you get too many needles going. So these are a really good compromise. With Flexi Flips, all you need are 3 versus if you were using DPNs, you would need at least 4. You could add 5, 6, or really any number after that. So all you'll be using are 3. So 2 are to hold the stitches, and the third is always your working needle. So first what you'll do is, just like you would on a circular or DPN, you'll cast on whatever the amount of numbers that the pattern calls for onto one of your Flexi Flips. And then from there, you transfer half of the stitches, or if you're working on a pattern that has an odd number, just, close enough to half. And I just do that by sliding it over purl-wise so that the stitches don't twist. And you're coming from the side that does not have the working yarn attached to it. So it would, in other words, it would be the end that you started casting on with until you get about half of the stitches. And once you're there, and I'm not counting, so we'll just kind of fake it till we make it. You're going to flip it over. So you want your, just like you would with a circular needle or DPNs, your working yarn will be on your rightmost needle. And the thing that's cool about these is you can move the needle down, and because it has the cord in the center, see how it kind of hangs? Your stitches are less likely to fall off because of that. Now I have a really small number of stitches on here, and these are the shorter, this needle could hold a ton more stitches. But these are also, I believe, the 8-inch long ones. They come in a longer length as well if you were working on something, on a larger project than I had planned to. Okay, so from here, you would just start working on whatever the stitch pattern is. So I'm working on leg warmers that are using a rib pattern. But it really doesn't matter. All that you need to know is that you have your working yarn, and this is when you're going to introduce your needle. So as it is with your double pointed needles, the first stitch is always the most persnickety because you have to hold the, all of the needles. Later you won't have to deal with it. So I'm just going to say, it doesn't matter what stitch we're using, I'll just show you. So let's just say that I'm going to be doing a knit 1, purl 2. So I knit the first stitch with the working yarn, and you'll see that that yarn is in the back, on the back needle rather, and you work that stitch. Okay, from here you can let this one go. Now the round is joined, your round is joined, and I've made sure that all the, the bottom of the stitch bumps are facing the same way so it's not twisted. And then you can pull this back needle and just let it hang, loosey-goosey rather. And so from here, just like if you were working on double pointed needles, you ignore the other needle and you just start working across. So I said I was going to work a knit 1, purl 2 rib. So that would just be like this. And you just carry along, and you're getting a lot of noise from the clicking against the table. So I apologize for that. And you'd work all the way across. So I'm just going to continue working just so you can see. I'm not even paying attention to my stitch pattern. So you can see what happens when you get to the end of the needle. After you've worked all of the stitches on the first needle, then, just like you would if you were using double pointed needles, you can pull this one out so the stitches won't fall off. You flip it over and you work that second set of stitches. Now what's cool about here, look at this. just hanging out. I don't know about you, but I'm really bad about putting my projects down neatly. Sometimes I'll just throw them in my purse as I'm leaving. And so that can be dangerous with double pointed needles. And the Flexi-Flips really sort of take a lot of that danger out of it. Of course, you could still use stitch stoppers, but what did I just do here? Purl. Yeah, purl. But I like that. It really just takes the work out of it. And then, you know, because they're Addi's turbos, or they're made like the Addi turbos rather, and the same materials, they're super slick, so fast to work with. So, you know, I'm a convert. I didn't think that the wheel needed to be invented, but these Flexi-Flips do, have done just that, and I'm super into it. I found myself pulling over at my local knitting store when I had a project on double pointed needles the other day, just because I felt like, you know what? I feel like I want to use these instead. So although I will never fully give up my DPNs because I really do love them, this is a really great alternative and I don't know, just pretty fun to work with. All right, that's all there is to it.